So it seems like Stellar Blade is causing more people to crash out and get angry over certain things. Now, again, obviously, we've recently been covering the drama surrounding the main character, Evie, who a lot of people have been kind of, arguing, saying that, oh, she looks too young, and even some saying that she looks like a child and that you're a PDF if you like her, which obviously is absolutely ridiculous, and obviously tons of people, taking this way out of proportion, right? And again, there's been some kind of articles that have been going around surrounding Stellar Blade Blood Rain, which of course have been very interesting to see, including one of the most hated kind of game journalists there are, which is Kotaku. Now, obviously, there is a reason why people dislike them, and of course, they continue to prove it every single day. As there's recently been a tweet that has been going around, saying Kotaku journos freak out over a Korean woman's jiggle physics, which again is absolutely crazy to say. But they say Kim did, however, talk about the new outfits that will be available for Evie in Stellar Blade Blood Rain. It will be even more appealing. That's all we can say. Good lord, I hope more appealing doesn't mean what I think it means in this context. The jiggle physics present in the reveal trailer were disturbing enough. Thank you very much. And that's an actual paragraph or whatever you call it, quote from this, from this article. And this article is obviously on the Kotaku website, saying ShiftUp CEO brushes off complaints that Stellar Blade Blood Rain's protagonist looks too young, while promising even more appealing outfits. They say CEO Young-tae Kim stated that while Evie is younger and smaller in size compared to Stellar Blade's protagonist, the outfits in the sequel will be even more appealing for fans. And obviously, if you guys don't know, Stellar Blade obviously has a big pool whenever it comes to the outfits and things that they actually provide with the character that you unlock along the way, right? And that's a big thing with the first game, and it's obviously going to be a big thing for the second game. And obviously they talk about the fact that it was revealed during the Summer Games Fest, and I'm not just talking about all of the suspicions surrounding its alleged use of Gen AI, which of course, I mean, I don't think it really matters that much. In fact, all anyone can seemingly talk about is the childlike appearance of Stellar Blade Blood Rain's new protagonist, Evie. The CEO of its developer, ShiftUp, has recently brushed off these complaints in an interview in which he states that the physical looks of Evie are secondary to how much of a lovable character she is. Obviously the CEO has, of course, been defending his game, and, he is doing the right thing, right? Because, again, all of these people are being absolutely ridiculous over a character that, is clearly to be, obviously it was confirmed by the CEO himself, was supposed to be like 20, I think they said 21 to 23, which obviously is pretty crazy, right? So, people try to, say this stuff are more so projecting, right? And of course, there's a ShiftUp CEO, Hyung-tae Kim, who also directed the original Stellar Blade, and recently sat down with IGN to talk about Stellar Blade Blood Rain. Naturally, the topic of Stellar Blade's protagonist Eve and the internet's reaction to the youthful appearance of the new protagonist Evie popped up in conversation. That yes, she is younger, she's smaller in size, she's shorter than Eve, Kim replied, but she has a stronger personality, engages in much tougher battles, and she's actually a special part of a special squad that chases after a group of terrorists who cause terror attacks here and there in the city. If you actually play the game, you will not think that, he continued. I definitely think how Eve looked in the previous definitely like how Eve looked in the previous Stellar Blade, but this time Evie, not just her physical looks, but her personality, the way she talks, the way she engages battle, all that will combine together, and you'll see that she's a very lovable character. So yeah, it seems like they're trying to essentially, make this character much more memorable and, have like a pretty good personality as well as, just not just the character design, but the actual like personality of the character itself. They're trying to improve on, which I think is definitely a bonus, right? And it's definitely a good thing that they are trying to focus on that, right? And you said, I've reread the comments several times, and it just comes across as evasive and nonsense to me. So essentially, Kotaku's saying that, he's evading the question, but honestly, the design shouldn't even be one of the biggest, talking points of it, right? I don't think it's evasive. I just think he's saying that, hey, they want to focus more on the, personality of Evie rather than just constantly talking about, oh, she looks like this, she looks like that, right? So again, they're saying, nor her overtly sexualized pose in the trailer, beyond stating that she's younger and smaller in size. And then, of course, there was the final paragraph, which we covered in that tweet here, where they were, you know, saying it was disturbing that they had jiggle physics in a game. And I mean, you know, what do you really expect with Stellar Blade, right? Like, let's be real. If you're making this whole kind of article covering Stellar Blade, I mean, you know, it's like complaining, like when you review some other kind of 18 plus content or whatever, and you go, damn, I can't believe there's so much of this and that in there, which obviously should be in there, right? Saying, woman in there jiggling, can we confirm he's gay? I mean, he works at Kotaku. Said, business as usual then, I can't wait till these freaks see Evie's outfits, which ShiftUp said are going to be even more appealing. Which, yeah, that is something that they did say, and I think that is going to be the next kind of stage within this drama, right? People have been getting over the top and stuff about, you know, the character itself, but I think whenever the outfits get revealed or whatever, you know, whether that's whenever the game comes out or whether whenever the you know, they do some like promotional material or whatever, it's going to be pretty crazy, and there's going to be a lot of people very angry about that, which I think is going to be just very funny, right? So that's because it's not the kind of jiggle physics that interests Kotaku. And obviously, yeah, here's another you know, article from Kotaku. It's from a different writer, but same company, of course. Baldur's Gate slightly adds jiggle physics for that, which obviously, you know, it seems like they're being much more positive about that. So, of course, they prefer it whenever men have those kind of physics, but whenever women have it, they're not allowed it. So, yeah. So, gay journalists have a problem whenever women jiggle physics. That's why that's why the East Game companies are beating Western studios. The problem is those journalists have jiggle physics around the belly area, so they don't understand why it would be anywhere else. That's a crazy comment. Can't wait for this to top the charts. Thank God they ditched Sony and we will see it. So yeah, obviously a lot of people are waiting to see whether this will be a success in terms of the charts and everything. And I think it will. I think Stellar Blade, the first one, was such a success. And I think that, you know, them separating themselves away from Sony and being able to do whatever they want, I think they're definitely going to have a much better you know, shot at actually going even higher up in the charts and potentially, you know, taking over gaming for a little bit, right? Because again, I think they have a much more, what do you call it? They have like something in mind, right? Whenever it comes to the design and the way they want to make this game, and they're fully able to do whatever they want now, which of course I think will, yeah, improve the game, right? I think it's kind of easy to say. You know, the game's going to be good if Kotaku are having a moral freak out over it. I'll be more concerned if Kotaku suddenly starts supporting the new Stellar Blade. Which, yeah, I mean, it is, yeah, pretty insane, right? That, you know, Kotaku is covering this, and it's also, yeah, as they say, it's a good sign that Kotaku is so angry about this, because it usually means it's probably pretty good, right? As I said, there is a reason why this website is so hated. There is a reason why people don't like any of these articles. And again, there is comments on this as well, by the way, which there's also been a ton of different other articles, which I guess we could go through in other videos and talk about, because some of them talk about like the usage of AI and whatever, which of course, you know, the CEO has been known to kind of, you know, enjoy a little bit, but again, we'll have to take a look at that one. It says there's 169 comments here, but I can't see them. Oh, it won't even let me see them. Wait, did they hide them? Can you hide comments on this, or do I need an account? I don't know. I don't know if I need an account or if it is, you know, something that they've hidden, but it seems like you can't see the comments anymore. I mean, hold on. Let me just check another article, because, all right, 4 comments. Okay. Oh, you just can't see any of them, it seems like. Hey, what about one about not ShiftUp or not about anything? Okay, I don't think you can see any of them. Never mind. But again, it is pretty crazy. There's 169 comments, but we can't see any of those. Maybe that's just my browser. You never know. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this situation. I did find it quite funny that they were getting so mad about it, especially whenever there's articles talking about the kind of physics for men in games. And it definitely tells you a lot about the journalists that have been covering it and their kind of preferences whenever it comes to, you know, just their preferences. Let's just say their preferences. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to Game Subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. So yeah.